Okay, so I think we're going to start, and thank you all for being here tonight. I'm really excited about it. And so what I thought we would do, hi Debbie, is kind of talk about when you're taking a trip, or if you're just having to go somewhere where you're going to have to wait for a while, or taking a walk. Hi Marie. Just what I bring with me, and I have different ways of packing my art supplies. And I can't wait to see you either, Heidi. And so I kind of divide it into different ways. So if I'm just gonna throw a couple things, if I'm going on a car ride with my family, like Mary's gonna take a ride out into the country or something to get out of the house, I'll just pack a little bit of things. And then, or if I'm gonna wait in line for something, I always have like a little sketchbook or a little bag filled with some pencils. So I'm gonna show you some of the things that I use and how I pack small and I pack large. So if I'm gonna go, it depends on where I'm going. So if I am going on a trip with my family, I'll pack a few specific things. If I'm going to teach a workshop, I have to really think about what I'm gonna pack, because I can't carry everything on a carry-on, and I can't carry things, and I have to put things in my suitcase, which always makes me worry when I put them in my suitcase. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. Hi, Cynthia. Oh, you're welcome, Eileen. I love doing this, it's so much fun. So I have everything set out, and I'm just gonna explain to you what I use and how you can do it, and you don't need all of these things. These are just some of the things I will pull into my little travel kit. So here we go. I'm gonna turn it around. Oh, and when I turn around, hi Betty, you'll see the new drawing that I did in my art lesson. She's coming out quite pretty. There she is. I'm so excited about her. That's just on newsprint. That's what I worked on the last 2 art lessons with Carolyn. All right, here we go. Let me see if I get this. All right, so I always use this pouch. I got this from Jean. It's beautiful. I've had it for about 3 years now, and it has her little tag in it. And I've washed it a couple times, and I like that it has this little leather pull. So this is a great piece to put everything in. I bring this everywhere. It's very dirty. I probably should wash it, but I don't really think about that. So it's from this company called Shorthand, and they have like super cool pencils, and I ordered this and some pencils. I'll try and find the link and include it. I also like to have these little tins. You see them in my classes, and this way I can have like little pieces of charcoal that I use all the time. So I have this one. I have a little piece of a kneaded eraser in there, and a pencil sharpener, and different bits and pieces of charcoal. I have another one too that is big enough to put a small generalist pencil in there, and I also have an eraser. So these are great. You can find these on excuse me, on Etsy, eBay and Etsy, and I got a little stack of them for, I think it was like $15. And then I have another tin with these Neo 2 color. These are the water soluble, and I just bring it. Sometimes I'll bring just one and I'll put it in here. If I'm going on a trip that I know that I'm gonna have more time to create, I'll bring a few colors. And these tins are great because it keeps everything contained. And then this one just has some of these Neo 2 hard pastels. And if I'm visiting or on a family trip, I only bring this. If I'm going to be teaching a workshop, I'll bring my good pastels, and I have them in this box here to keep them safe. And because these I don't want anything to get crushed, and I want to keep them with me. And I got this box on Rosemary and Company where you can get your brushes, and it's really nice. And even though they move around a little bit, I could just put some more foam in there, which I would probably do, put some more foam just to keep them from moving around in my suitcase. But I would carry these on the carry-on. I wouldn't put them in my suitcase. So I only do that when I'm going to teach a workshop. Okay, so now let me just talk about the basic. So what I will do is I will bring a couple of my erasers, put them in here. And then I always like to have a couple of these General's charcoal pencils. I like these a lot. and I like the Peel and Sketch and a Stabilo and mechanical pencil. So I'll put those in there. And then sometimes I like all water soluble things, except for these aren't water soluble. And I have Inktense makes a nice water soluble colored pencil, and I really like the Derwent. And I like this blue gray color, so I keep the color simple. And I like to have a couple colored pencils, so what I may do is just pick out 2 and put them in my bag. And then I like to have these little binder clips, because when I'm working in my art journal, I can hold it open. Okay, now the other thing that I have artist tape, but this is big, and so if I'm going on a longer trip, I'll put this in there. But if it's something small, I'll bring washi tape and just put a piece, just tuck it right in there. And I have this little tin of watercolors, and some of these are this tin was from Wildthorn, but I took out some of the colors and put in some different ones. So I'll change this around, and I make a little palette here so I know where they are and what colors they are. I love this. I love bringing this with just really limited colors. And that can fit in here, but just for the simple, basic ones. And then if if this is for a short, simple trip, I'll bring 1 or 2 of these water brushes that you can get on Amazon. And that's it. That's what will go. And then I'll bring a small sketchbook. So I won't even bring this. I'll just throw this in my purse. Sorry that it's shaking. It's on my table. This is a little moleskin art journal, and it's not watercolor paper. It's just basic. It's really nice drawing paper. I think it's like something like Strathmore in there. I'm not 100% sure, but I like it, and it has a little pocket in the back so you can put things in there. But I like to have these small journals to just do a quick sketch in. I will use the Stabilo and the watercolor pencils in here. As you can see, I've done that on some of these, and they're just very quick little sketches, and then I can just take my paintbrush or my water brush and just kind of move stuff around. So I do like having these. So water soluble is what I like to bring. Now, if I'm going to visit my mom in Texas, so I will pack up this and I'll put it in here. And then I'll pick one of these and put it in here. And then what I'll probably do is just take 1 tin and maybe take a couple of these and some of the hard pastels, just so I have everything in 1 tin instead of bringing so many things. And then I'll bring my little watercolor tin, and I will bring my little collapsible thing. So this is great just to have, so you can, that fits in here. And if I have my little book, I can stick that in here. Now I'm all ready to go. Now if I'm going on a longer trip, I may bring, which I don't really go on long trips anymore. But I did go away for, I think it was like 4 days. We went to Kentucky for my husband's cycling camp, and we stayed in an Airbnb, and I set up a space in this back pantry of a kitchen, and I was able to make a lot of art. So I was happy I planned. And I have these 2 little bottles. My husband ordered a case of these to put hand sanitizers in. And so I grabbed 2 of them, and I have clear gesso and white gesso because I can't live without these 2. So they'll put those in there. And I like to have a glue stick because if I do any little mini collages, I have the glue stick. It's fabulous. It's perfect. Okay, so I'm going to take this out again and talk about a few more things. So it's all about, just kind of pulling just very simple things, very simple color palette. And let me just talk about the brushes a little bit. So these brushes, if you haven't used them before, I'm going to do this for you. And I also have this really beautiful, I got it as a gift, It's by a Skoda or Skada. It's a travel brush. And some water here, and let's just take out, just in case you're new to some of these supplies. I know there's some people who are just getting started. So this is my Stabilo, and I love working with this because, you know, I can draw and then I can move things around and then go back through it. And then this works just the same. You just squeeze it. And you can even make it drip by just squeezing the water out, and you get a nice drip with it. So these are great. Oh, the other thing I like to have is just a paper towel in my bag, and just to have to, you know, sop up anything or to clean the brush off. And I have this little brush cleaner. So if I want to clean my brush, I can just do that. So it's a tiny one. Right, and then, so that's the Stabilo, and the Peel and Sketch is wonderful. I love working with this one because it just makes cool marks, and then I can also move it. I can add gesso to it and do other things with it. Once you add gesso to it, though, it's pretty much stays, but it's a great, I mean, really, all you need is this. That's all you really need to go in a piece of paper. And you can create so many things. Now, let's see. Let's just demonstrate. This is the watercolor pencil, and you can just use it as a pencil. Or you can just move it around, and it gives you a really pretty color. It's beautiful. Okay, is there any other water soluble? I think that was it. And the color pencils I just bring because I really like making marks in with the color pencil and moving it around. It's wax based, so it's not going to interfere with the water, so I can draw through that watery part and create with that. So I like that. Let's see, there's a couple other water soluble ones that you could use to put in there. This is a Lyra graphite pencil, and it makes really beautiful bold marks, and you can move that around. There's water soluble and permanent, or non-water soluble. I'm not sure what it's called, but it's really beautiful. So if you're more of a graphite person than charcoal, you might like this. I do like this a lot. And then this is also a Stabilo, and it's like a chubby Stabilo. It's kind of fun to play with. And it moves all around with water. So those are those things. And I'm gonna move this aside for a bit. Now, if I'm traveling and I want my paintbrushes, I ordered this like 100 years ago on Etsy. It's for knitting needles. But I think Jean Oliver has something like this in her little store. They're really beautiful. And I just put the brushes that I'm gonna use in here. And you could make this out of a piece of fabric and just stitch your sides. Just something that, fold over, and then it just rolls up. And you can put your pencils in here, and it's great because it keeps everything together. And I saw someone did one out of like that oilcloth, which I thought was pretty clever. So that's, depending on where you're going, if you're painting, if you're going to a workshop and you want to bring your own paintbrushes and keep them from getting crushed or anything, I think that's a good thing to have. So we have all of our little supplies here. Now I want to talk to you about your little travel journals. So I have a few that I want to share with you, and because I try to keep them small, and I like to work small sometimes, and it's just you just kind of get your ideas down. You want to capture those ideas whenever, and I think when we get away from home and responsibilities in life, you just can maybe go out and just kind of enjoy and relax, and you kind of think more freely, and I think you get ideas when you kind of get out of your element. So this is one of my favorite little pieces, and it's made by a company named Field Artist, and I got it on Amazon a few years ago, and it's like a little portfolio. It's called a pochette, and it came with watercolor paper in it. And I went back today to see, not today, it was a couple weeks ago, to see if I had another one, because I wanted to get one as a gift for someone, and they didn't have any more. So I have to look and see if I can find any more. But what I like to do is to take pieces of paper that I've torn up from other pieces of paper. So they're just all random. So I kind of reuse things that aren't in a bigger piece, and I put it in here. And I'm gonna try and figure out how to make one of these, because it's got these little elastic straps. So because I couldn't find this, I wanted to see, they had a different version, which is from the same company, and it's just a little mini book with watercolor paper, and it's 300-pound watercolor paper. And so what I'll do is I'll just kind of use my artist tape and tape things I find. I found this little piece, and so I'll just capture some ideas in here. And this one's kind of cool that it has this long piece that pulls out. So you could do something really cool on that. The only thing I don't like is I don't like how this feels. This has like a fake leathery feeling, and I don't like how that feels, and that's important to me. I like to feel things to feel good in my hand, but the paper's gorgeous, so it depends on what you like. And then I have this little one, which is great when you just take your little pencil case and this and put this in your purse. It doesn't take up a lot of space, and I like that it's landscape, and this is by Peg and All. And it has beautiful paper in it. It's a Strathmore drawing paper, and it's great. So I like using this one, and I can put water, charcoal water. I taped off these little segments. So that's something, and it's, hand stitched. And I think there's a little quote on the back that I can't see, but that's a great one, the Peg and All. I will put these links in the comment section. And I talked to you about the moleskin, and this is one of my favorite ones. This is also by Peg and All, and it was a birthday gift. It has my initials in it, and I've been using this one for 2 years, and I'm going to be bringing with me when I go teach a workshop. But the paper's beautiful. It's Strathmore paper, and it holds up. Like, I paint, there's like a bunch of layers of paint on here, and it's like this great size to put in your hand. And I have done a lot of things in this journal, experimenting, and I keep working in it and putting more things, layering, stitching onto the paper, and collaging. And I really like to have something that's small that I can keep adding pieces to. And I'll go back and forth in here. This is from a lino cut that I did, and I cut them out and put them in there. This is so weird, I don't even know what that is. But this is why I like the binder clips, because I'll clip things in, and I find it really inspiring when I go back in to it. And I write things and I cover it up. And I think having, a small journal that you can just keep working back and forth, put paint colors in and your ideas. And so this is like 2 years of working in this. And I will continue to add to it. I'll continue to make drawings and collage over things, because I see this evolution of my ideas and my artwork, and I want to hold on to some of these ideas and bring them into my art. And I think having something that you can keep going to, and this is so easy to take with me, and it fits in here, so I take it every time. I always take it and just kind of put things in it and paint in it. So this one is kind of fun. I like this little piece here where I painted on paper and then I tore it apart, and Olivia's taking embroidery lessons. We're homeschooling. I know I'm not alone, but she's doing embroidery as her art, and so we've got all the embroidery threads out and we've been doing things, so I thought that was kind of fun. So that's something to keep in mind, like, you know, holding on to color palettes and things you love and just kind of building up these yummy pages and, but getting something that is special and holding on to it. And then I have this little tiny one. I think I've shown it before. I made this, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, but I love this one. I think I've done every page in it, but it's really old artwork. But there's things in here I can go back and look at, like these color palettes, and I can stick this in my purse and redraw over it. And I think this was the first time I did these weird watery faces. And it just was a piece of paper that I didn't like what I was doing to it, so I just turned it into this little mini journal. And I think that, oh, that's it. Okay, so now let me go to the next thing. So I hope you like that. And I can put links to these things. And please don't hesitate to ask any questions. I'll answer them all in the comments. So I wanted to share this with you. I just got these little color sheets and I've tried them out. So they're a little messy in here, but the colors are gorgeous. They're so gorgeous. And this is something you can take with you. You could even cut them out and tape them into your art journal if you didn't want to take the whole thing with you. So I was going to demo them. As you can see, I went for the greens, and it has this piece of waxy paper, and you can even mix on here as well. And I think it's quite brilliant. And I think this is about $20. There's a couple different products on this I can't say it. I feel terrible not being able to pronounce it. Vivia, I think. Okay, someone correct me. Anyway, I think they're really beautiful. And if you are a fan of very bright colors, you will love this. And so I love bright colors, but I don't work with bright colors a lot. So I was thinking, how can I make this more into my color palette? So I'm just going to show you how they work. So let me go here, because you know I like green. So you just take a little bit down. Can you see this? Yeah, okay. So there's some, this is light green. It's so pretty. And then this is a sap green. I'll kind of mix it in there. So I think you can tone this down. And then I went to this, this is so pretty, this Persian blue. And it kind of gave me that green gold that I really like. It's really pretty. So let me go through them all. And they pretty much stay within their little palette. It's a very intense pigment. So let me go through and show you all the colors. All right, so this is the crimson, which is really pretty. And this is the deep pink, which is very close to the crimson. A little brighter, but I need my little... All right, then we're gonna go to the, I haven't tried out the vermilion yet. So I know that, you know, color is very kind of an emotional, personal thing. So you have to find the colors that you love and kind of work with them. And you can mix these too. I was mixing them a little earlier, trying to experiment. And if I mix that with the black, I'd get another green gold. This gold ochre is really pretty. I like that a lot. And you can also, if they're super wet, I was just dabbing it with the paper towel. I'm gonna put the link to the website. They also have a really cool, like little wooden case that you can slip this into. Now this is, I like the burnt umber and the burnt sienna. Yeah, it's really pretty. Okay, hope I'm keeping this. I already did the greens and then I did the Viridian. Let's do the peacock blue. That's really beautiful. I know my friend Andrea Garvey would go crazy over that color. And that was, and she'd go crazy over that color. That's the Viridian. All right, so I'll just kind of dab it. It doesn't go crazy. And then this is really pretty. I liked this Persian blue. It's very purpley, but I like it mixed with the greens. And then I haven't tried violet yet. That's pretty. And then, you know, I never met a pink I didn't like, so that's pretty. And then they have the slate black, which I was mixing the slate black in with, you know, colors like this, just toning things down a bit. I was getting some pretty effects too, which I liked. So I can mute it down. So you can mute things. You can, you know, kind of look at your color wheel and you're mixing the yellows with the blues and, you know, creating oranges and purples and whatnot. But it's a really beautiful set and it's very highly pigmented. I mean, you can see my hands. It's all over my hands now. But I love that I can just take this with me, and I would just have to experiment more with the mixing to get the color palettes that I like to work with. But I really like this. I love this color. This magenta is really gorgeous. And maybe I would mix the magentas in with the reds maybe. And then I like the siennas. And so I can see myself using this and bringing it with me when I travel. But I just wanted to demonstrate that for you today and show it to you. And I have one more thing I want to talk about. And I think, I'm not sure how many places are left, but I wanted to share with you my journal spread that I did this year. This year was the first year I was on a guest teacher for Wanderlust, and they are so wonderful. Cassia and her husband Jamie and all the teachers who are on there. It's really a kind of an exciting program that they've created. And so let me get my little spread here so you can see that. So this is the spread that I did, and I'm really happy about it. It was very fun to do, and I did a lot of layering, and I did these morning glories, and I was kind of talking about celebration and holding on to experiences, and I found this Berta Morisot quote, which I really liked, and we painted paper, which I like to paint flowers on paper, and did some stitching. So there's a lot of meaning woven into this where I can see bringing it into a bigger painting. So one of the things that I think is very powerful about art journaling and keeping a sketchbook, keeping a couple different sizes and expanding on your ideas is that it just takes this conversation out of your head, you put it in here, and then you just keep building on it, and you see your style evolve. It's not a scary place to be because it's just you and the paper, and if you don't like it, you just paint over it. So that's the beauty. And as you can see in this one, I have covered up so many things that I didn't like and kept experimenting, which those layers have meaning. And I think I have another one that I'm kind of playing around with here. So this is kind of how it started. It was just a base, so I kind of talk people through this. And I really like kind of this whole pouring and pooling of paint. And so I've been kind of playing with this idea too of bringing in a woman on top of it. So that's another idea that this has led to this. So, but I'm pretty happy with it. And if you have any questions, I'll have a different lesson for 2021. I haven't thought of it yet, but hopefully I will. I'm gonna turn the camera around so I can see you. Hold on one second. Hi. So I'm excited to do the 2021, so hopefully I'll get some new ideas. I don't know. Right now, I've taught so many classes this year. I don't know if I have any ideas left. Hopefully they'll come. No, I actually have a lot of ideas right now. And when I'm going to be out of town next week, but when I get back, I'm starting on that magenta Andrew Garvey. I know, I'm telling you, I knew you would like that. I'm going to be starting on a new course for my site. I'm not guest teaching, I'm guest teaching for myself. And I will be doing something that has to do with abstracts. So hopefully you'll like that idea. So you're the first to know in my little community here. So does anyone have any questions about all the stuff? Hopefully it was organized in a way. I try to be very organized so that I wouldn't go babbling off on all these tangents with all my different supplies, but everything was good. Any questions? Yay, Melanie, yes, abstract. I know, I'm really excited. I've got some of my supplies have come in, and I'm kind of digging this color palette right now with these. They're very soothing to me because, I've worked for a long time in like all these, florals and pinks and greens, and I've been kind of using my same color palette, but kind of changing my mixes, and I haven't really added any new paints. I missed the brand name of that little paint swatch book. Can you post it here? Yes, Anne, I will. And I feel terrible because I think I'm saying it wrong. Viviva. But I will put the link to it, but it's so cute. I like it because it's so cute. So I'm gonna use this. And my friend Andrea Garvey was telling me she uses another, I can't remember the name of it, watercolor swatch like this, and she cuts them out and then she puts them in her journal, just the colors that she's going to use when she travels. What's the name of the paint squares? It is Viviva. And I know, this really so great. Don't we love new art supplies, new toys? So I know I want this. And then when you go to their website, you're going to see the cute little wooden, Andrea said Peerless, that's what it is. You're going to see the little wooden thing that you can holder that you can put it in. That's very special. So I'm sure that they'll love me telling you all about this and everybody going to the website. So I'll put it in after this is over. So I think that's it. I just want to really say that art journaling is this kind of gateway to finding your style. So I've had a lot of people emailing, just starting, and I don't know what to start with. And all you really need is a sketchbook and pencils. That's all you need to start with. But if you want to start journaling, like maybe buy a small sampling of some paint colors you like maybe 3 on one side of the color wheel. And that's what I talk about in this Wanderlust, is start with one side of the color wheel and just work in that side, and then maybe have an accent color. And then it takes a lot of the fear away when you do that. I think it's really important to just allow yourself to create, and you can just pour paint, and then you can collage, and you just experiment, and all the experimenting is going to open you up to your ideas. And how you do it and how I do it and how my friend does it, how we all do it gesturally, it's all different. It's because, it's like that whole idea of like signing your name. Everybody's name, you sign it differently. So the way you hold your brush, the way you move your hands and push paint around. Like I always say, get into the paint, push it around, play with it, touch it, feel it, and put your tools in there. Don't feel like I can only use a paintbrush. Use your fingers, use your mechanical pencil. That's what I do. I push everything around. How can I move this? What happens? I don't like it, I cover it up. Just so. And that's how you free yourself up, because I think quite often we just judge ourselves on what we're creating, and and I think part of that is like comparison of other people. So one of the mission I have as an art teacher is to make sure people see that their style, the way they draw, the way they paint, the ideas they have are so important. And, there's this idea of skill and technique, and that always improves along with your practice. But your ideas are pure. They're your ideas. And you need to see them through. They're so important to okay, this is what's coming to me from wherever in the universe it's coming, that those ideas are important. And by art journaling and keeping all your little sketchbooks and your ideas, I come into my studio at night sometimes and I'll see something laying around. I grab scraps of paper and I just start doing things with it. And I don't know what I'm doing, but I just do it anyway. and I don't judge myself on it. And that's the best part about doing this. It leads to everything. It leads to painting the portraits. It leads to drawing your flowers, whatever you feel you love to do. And you don't have to do just one thing. You don't have to say, I'm an abstract artist, that's all I can do. No, you can paint portraits, you can do lino cuts, you can make pottery, you can do anything that you have a feeling that you need to do, that you want to do. And that's kind of my philosophy of it, because I like to do a lot of things. I want to see what happens when I take this technique and do it in an abstract, and maybe that technique with the portrait on top of it. And it's all about experimenting. Everything's an experiment. And so everything from your rough, raw ideas, it's all raw. And I feel comfortable showing you these raw ideas because some of them are not, they're really like bad drawings. I think my drawing is not good here when I look at it, but I see the beauty in the rawness. I critique it like, oh, I need to fix this and this and this. However, then when I step back and look at it, there really is, it's who I am. It's what's happening in the drawing. And I need to embrace that. And so we all feel that way. We all go through these phases of like, oh, I can't draw, I can't paint, but we can, you can. And so long story short, that you just need to allow yourself to create like you create, because no one else creates like you create, and you create beautiful things, and you just need to know that you do. So get out your art journal and do it. So I don't know how many places are left in Wanderlust. And oh, thanks, Melanie. I'm glad you see the beauty in the rawness. That's the part, that's where the magic is. It's like when I'm looking at this one right now, critiquing as I talk to you, like, oh, her eye's all wonky, or no. But no, there is a lot of cool things that are happening in this. And I want to grab those when I go to create something else. So back to Wanderlust. They are, once they opened it up to 3,000 people, and I know 2,000 it sold out in like 24 hours. That was crazy. And they opened up to 1,000 more for the $99. And as of yesterday, there were 400 spots left. So I know a few people that I talked to signed up. So I hope you can get into that, because it's going to be an awesome experience. There's some great teachers in that. Wendy Brightville's in it. Tiffany Goff-Smith is in it. I can't remember who else is in it, but those two people I know. And of course, Cassia just does amazing things. So follow Cassia on Instagram, because she does a daily art journal every single day, and she does this whole time lapse, and they're gorgeous. Okay, so I think that's it. Any questions? No, I'll save this to the class. Thanks for being here. And I will, and don't forget to post all your stuff in this group. It's all very private, hopefully. Sometimes people make their way in that I have to ask them to exit stage left, as I found out last week. Someone came in, was like asking for money, and I think it was a hacker. So I think those people sneak in under other people's faces. So we got to just let me know if you see anything that is suspect, and I will take care of it, okay? All right, you guys, thanks for joining me. You are wonderful too. Love you guys. I'll see you in a couple weeks. Let me know what you want to talk about. Bye.